Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, it's been a tough week this week, and it's been a little crazy because I don't know if you guys been watching the news, which I try not to watch so much of it sometimes because there's so much negative out there, and I've seen so many people protesting, and then so many memes about what the president said that injecting disinfectant into your system may help. And what surprised me about that was that I think he said that more at a desperate necessity, and he was not that he was trying to be funny or sarcastic. I think in my opinion he's just desperate because the economy, the people are going crazy, and he's going crazy, not knowing what to do. He can't contain his people. These people are out there protesting, let us go to the beach, and they don't want to stay inside. They want to go back to work, which I totally get it. Right now, people who are working during this pandemic are exhausted, are willing. It's sometimes some of them say they're willing to switch places with the people who are stuck at home, being with their family. And some people are getting exhausted more because they're not. Someone said to me they're not being useful of their time. Like they're just letting everything get bored, pretty much. Not literally expressing. There's a lot of creativity they can do. Go on walks, play different, be creative, make games with your children, have cooking dinners with the family, like making a video blog with. I have some black in my eye. Oh, I think it's I was working earlier in the backyard. Anyways, so I think it has a lot to do with that. When people just getting frustrated, cooped up, children not being able to express their graduations, not being able to go to prom, people not being able to have their children go to school, and they feel like they're not educating their children enough, and then having to make sure that they get their homework done and that they're still educated, and figuring out how to balance work life with home life at the same time, because now you don't have a break. You're just stuck at home literally like 24/7, and you're just like, I just want to get out. And it is hard, I tell you, it is hard, and I understand. I totally get it and sympathize with you. I know it's hard because for us at work, like I do, is we get billions of people that go in and day out in our store. Like I said in the last video, people just go in and out. Then you get a name tag that says on the bottom 6 feet. It's hard to practice 6 feet social distancing when you get people that just come in the store and all they want to get is their essential stuff. But then there's people that don't get the essential stuff. There's people, TVs are sold out, video games are sold out, board games are sold out. That to me is essential, because board games is because you're at home stuck and it gives you something to do. You could do a board. Or we had puzzles are sold out. Gloves are a necessity. Lysol and chemical supplies are still being out of stock. You can hardly get sanitizer. Toilet paper is starting to barely come back, but it's not enough to supply, because every time it comes out, when they stock it, it's gone with like 3 minutes. Like, you saw it, and now it's gone. It's like, oh, there it is. Now it's gone. And people are still shopping for lots of TVs, clothing. It's going up now. And a lot of people complain that certain companies are not doing enough. And then a lot of people complain that certain companies are doing more for their employees. And what is their companies doing? I view this as a pandemic, as we're all in this together. And protesting the way people are protesting, if you choose to protest, that's your own personal progress. But the issue that a lot of people are having, and I have another friend who's a doctor. She was a doctor in Mexico, and she is now a social worker here, because in order for her to be a doctor here, she would have to retake all these other medical classes, and she passed the medical test. She took it 3 times, and she passed it the 3rd time. But they told her in order for her to receive her verification or her value as a medical physician, even though she passed the exam of the board, of the medical board, she was like, now she has to go back to school and take I think 6 courses or something like that. She was like, well, then what's the point of me having to take this? I don't know, it was like a long time ago when she was telling me all this about it, but she was telling me as a physician, the problem is everybody's body reacts differently. So you may have the virus and you don't know it. And then you find out you do, but you're still not following the orders. So you go out. And because you're not getting sick like everybody else, you're still not coughing, you're not having any symptoms like that, but you have it. Then you go outside and you give it to somebody else, and then you don't know how their body's going to react. It's not going to react the same as yours. Everybody's different, and that's what a lot of people are getting at, is that this virus acts different to every single body. Not everyone dies, but not everyone makes it. It's a virus that only kills who it kills, and it has no gender. So it just kills when it needs to kill. It, I guess it just kills. And everybody's going out making their own mask, and then they're saying, oh, well, you're making it the wrong way, doesn't have the right type of filter, and you're not wearing gloves the right way, or you're not. And then there's a lot of people who are exposing their gloves the wrong way. They're just throwing them out in the street. So I'll show you guys a picture that I found of just random people just throwing their gloves. I've seen a whole bunch at my store. You see them all over the store. People just take off their gloves and just toss them. They don't belong on the floor. They belong in the trash. And, and there's a lot of people that are out there day to day making masks and selling them outside my store, out in the parking lot, pretty far, for $5. The problem with that is now doctors and people who are professionally trained are saying, yes, but they're not making them properly. They're not putting enough filters to make sure that it doesn't go through, and blah blah blah. So my mom, awesome, just made me one. She's really awesome. She made me one. It's cool. It's reversible. It's really, you can just, and it has to where I can put a filter if I need to. It's double layered, like it's supposed to be, and she has to filter it. She gave me my filter. You can put. My cousin said you can put 2 or 3 paper towels, just fold them nicely, and then that way you can just toss the paper towels out and then throw them away. And then he suggested a pad liner. He goes, believe it or not, a pad liner, it will work better because it has a full filter, for your body. And I was like, so you just kind of get the ones that are, and cut it and just shape it. And I was like, that's pretty smart. So a pad liner, believe it or not, may work better. So, who's going to know that you got that in there unless you start going like this, showing people, but that's a cool thing to think about if you're making some yourself, to leave it open so that you can put a pad liner on it, because that actually is not a bad idea. Because some people are making it so thin that paper, it's worthless. That's what they're saying. But then you come to think, that's rude, because they put the time and effort to get the fabric, to get the material to make it. And sometimes some people just make masks out of necessity, not realizing or educating themselves on how to properly make masks that will work. Because a lot of the time you'll just grab whatever and put it on and say that works. Which they tell you to use bandanas, they tell you to use an old t-shirt. Whatever works for you, works for you. So that's why I applaud those mask makers. Thank you to everybody who's been making them for people. And whether yours are thin or thick or whatever, you're doing an amazing job. Don't let anybody else tell you you are not. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. It's my day off. And I'm just enjoying the day and enjoying the night. I've been doing nothing but laundry because I haven't done it because I've been busy working. And I'm just enjoying my one day that I get because I work every single day. And it's just like when you get just one day, you're just like, oh. So I took my son out for a picnic today. That was fun. And then we seen people not practicing social distancing. And he asked me, how do you feel about that? Because we were also watching the news, and he's seen that a lot of people here in our state went to the beach, and then there's a lot of people protesting in San Diego, and then a lot of people in LA went to Huntington Beach and went out. And that's where the issue lies. It's where people don't realize that they have it and don't know that till they spread it. And they spread, and that's where people, medical physicians, are saying it's not so much that we want to keep you in the house, is we're just trying to stop the spread because not everybody's body works the same. So you don't know what kind of effect it's going to have on this person or on this person or on that person. And they're trying to eliminate the death toll or the... But then there's also been news and media saying that that the government gets their doctor's office or whatever, the hospitals get paid, I think it was 30 grand. They get paid 30 for each person that they label coronavirus death. If you die from the coronavirus, they get paid. If you die from anything else, it said on the article, it's only like 3 grand. It's like $3,000, and it's like, so they'd rather just label a lot of people. Pretty sure are doing this. I don't know if all of them are doing this, but you always have those people that are always going to say, oh, let's just say that this person died from the coronavirus. Who's going to know they're dead, you know? And right now, since they're not letting people have regular funerals, you know, it's virtually pretty sad. And you got your family and friends doing your virtual, you know, Zoom has become more effective now, and people are using Zoom and technology as a virtual way of educating children, of talking to your family. It's just a way of being able to communicate with one another. And it is just difficult times. And it's crazy how the whole entire month of February, March, and April have gone by with like people getting frustrated because of this virus. It is a little bit of frustration, and I get that. But at the same time, we have to view this as we're all in this together. And if we can't put a little grain of love instead of hate, okay, if you're gonna go out there and protest, sorry, because the thing that I'm setting my phone on wanted to just take a dive. So if you want to go out there and protest, just do it in a manner that's more respectful. That it's hard to do, but believe it or not, because this week, what I said was a rough week. I was sitting with a coworker at work who is kind of very religious, if you want to say. She's into her religion, and she was sitting next to me, and I was sitting next to her, and she left. And we were both looking at this Facebook page that my husband's cousin posted, because she is a Jehovah's Witness. She had said something, and I was confused by the post. So my friend thought, you should say something, and I let the best thing of me get the best of me. And I wasn't trying to be rude, I was just confused, and I even said it on the post, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm confused, because if this is what you're saying, it sounds like this. So my brother-in-law got on there, and he commented, are you trying to say this and that? And so I had to go back and take my post off the comment off her page because I realized maybe I shouldn't be that way and be like my friend, too quick to judge and start putting my opinion, because I realized I gotta let this person speak out the way she wants to and let her think the way she wants to. And I was just trying to get a response from her to answer me, like, what does she mean by that? Because I was confused. So I posted a scripture and I gave her facts, which were scripture facts. And I was just trying to get her to understand, what exactly do you mean by this? Are you saying that you don't believe in this? Or what is this post trying to say? I'm confused. And that's all I was trying to say. And a lot of people started viewing it like her post the wrong way. You know what I mean? Give me 1 second, people. So I just wanted, to apologize. And hopefully she's not offended, because I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to explain what it meant to me when I read it. Because you can write so many different things, and it can mean one way to you, but it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So you gotta be kind of specific. And so that's why I kind of took it this way, and then they took it the other way. So it kind of led to our argument, which I did not respond to the other person that was trying to lash out at me, I guess you can say, because I wasn't trying to lash at her. I guess he was trying to defend, but what struck me was I wasn't trying to offend that person or their faith, and that's when I realized, this is exactly what we all are doing. We all are going crazy. We all are offending people, and we don't even realize it. So one of my coworkers said, I wish this coronavirus thing would end. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, well, I want it to end because I'm tired of this. I want to be able to go out. People just need to go out. Who cares? If you get it, you get it. And if you get it sick to it, so what? And if you die, you die. And I was like, she had her views. And I said, well, that's a good point of view, of your view. I said, I respect that. That's pretty much your point of view. I said, but I don't necessarily 100% disagree or agree, but that's just the way she felt. And then that's when I was like, okay. I was like, some people think differently. We are all different. And we all need to respect each other's differences and learn to embrace it. So that's one thing I've learned, is to not be so quick to write something, even though it was meant for harm, I guess. Because sometimes you try to say something and it just comes out the wrong way when you're not trying to make it sound that way. And you're just like, why do they think that? And then you go back and you read it and you're like, you're like, why do they still think that? And then you're like, well, but the best thing I did was not argue and not try to prove anybody's point and not try to justify it. I just let it be what it was and just apologize and let it be what it is, because he doesn't need to hear the apology. She did, or whoever posted it. And it wasn't that I was trying to offend. I was just trying to ask a question, like, what does that mean? Because this is what it sounds like to me. And it led to that. So I was like, we're all just cooped up in our house, and then people work extra hours, work harder, because a lot of companies right now, believe it or not, have their employees working real hard because everybody doesn't want to work, because too many people are getting scared. Too many people are not wanting to work, because some people say that their companies are not doing enough. Some people say that they're grateful for their jobs and their companies are doing what they need to be doing. And then there's some people that just are plain scared and don't want to. And I totally get that. But see, I can't live my life out of fear. And God says, if you want to live your life out of fear, then you don't know me or because he has your back. And I know he has my back. I'm still going to be cautious and precautious of what is going out there. I still believe that you should still be cautious. Wash your hands, try to stay 6 feet, and just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what you're touching and what you're putting in your mouth. Just being aware of your body in general and what it is that you're doing. That's all. But that doesn't mean that everybody else has to do what you're doing, because everybody has their own difference and their own ways. And if we all learn to respect one each other's differences, it's just like my friend. I haven't seen him in a while. He is of a different personality, I like to call it. He's hilarious, he's funny, and he likes to dress up like he'll tell me, I like to dress up like a girl. And I'm just like, oh, okay, interesting. He likes wearing the heels. He thinks girls stuff is fun. It's not that he is into being trans or anything like that. He says he's more of just enjoys it. It's I guess. And we gotta learn to respect that. And that was shocking for me, because I was like, whoa, wow. I'm like, that's tough. And this guy likes the whole wearing the makeup, dressing up, and he can do makeup very good. And I was like, man, you do makeup better than I do. And that's sad, because I'm a girl and I'm supposed to technically know how to put it on, because I'm a girl, and that's the way genetically everybody was raised, that men don't wear makeup, only women. So it just gets really hard sometimes, Ooh, my light just came on. And yeah, that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. It's about just enjoying life in general and not trying to be so harsh and rude to one another. Just know that we're all on this together, and that one day this shall pass, hopefully by May. Because I too want to go to the gym. I too want to go to the movie theaters. I too want to go and sit and have a nice lunch or dinner with my loved ones and my friends, and just enjoy like a good steak or sushi or ice cream or whatever it is. It's just right now things are different, and a lot of people were robbed of a lot of different things. A lot of people had to cancel their weddings. Just think about that. A lot of people had to cancel their graduations. They didn't get to walk down the stage and say, hey, I'm a high school graduate, like you and I did. A lot of people didn't get to go to school like you and I did. They got their school taken out. So we all have to learn from this and take a step back and sit. I know it sounds stupid, but just sit and enjoy the real time that you... I know it sucks being cooped up at the house. Try to be creative. If you want, set flyers to your neighbors. Some people set flyers to their neighbors and just put them on the doors and said, hey, on this such time, we'll be having a block party. If you guys want to join, you guys can listen. And he said his DJ was at the other side, and then people can dance, and he would have his DJ out, and he had music, and he had lights, and he had everything. And the neighbors that were out had barbecues in the front, and then everybody else was barbecuing, and they were like, oh, what you barbecuing out there? And they just had a conversation from, lawn to lawn, and they all had fun while listening to great music. That was neat. When I seen that video, I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, that is actually pretty neat. Communities coming together instead of community going out there protesting in the wrong way. I don't necessarily think they're protesting in the wrong way. I just think that when you get violent, that's when you're protesting in the wrong way. If you want something, it's like Martin Luther King did it the best, and so did Julio Cesar Chavez. They were both two exemplary people that I admire the most, because they did something that not a lot of people can do. They hold their anger in the right way, and they were humble and justful people. Like, they committed to no violence, committed to doing what they needed to do. I remember when I watched the documentary of Julio Cesar Chavez, how he was committed on not to eat, and he wouldn't eat, and he would just like, I'm not eating until my people get what they deserve. And it was just like, he was a dedicated person. And Martin Luther King was the same way. He'd tell people, violence is not the answer. And he would tell them, protest and stand strong, but do not fight. And that's where we need to go back to. Because at the end of the day, it's like watching the movie Harriet Tubman. She was an amazing woman for being able to make something called a railroad and lead all these people to freedom who were technically already free, but they are not free because of slavery. See, whoever invented slavery was not a very bright person, because they needed slaves for working people, but the way they treated slaves wasn't fun. And people forget that back in the day, slavery was like, oof. And they didn't protest in that kind of way because they were afraid, and back then if they did protest, it was just tough, and people don't realize that a lot of people have interracial part in them, because a lot of them raped the women, and the children. A lot of them got raped and had children by them because they didn't care. They were just rich, wealthy people, and everybody wants to put the finger on one. But at the end of the day, everybody has gone through something dramatic. And this world is going through something dramatic. But if we all go backwards, then we're never going to get through this. So if people can stop for a minute and think about it, about what they're going to do before they go out there, we would be in a peaceful world. But that's in a different reality. We all don't think alike. So when I see all these people protest and everybody's like, that's stupid, I'm like, yeah, but you also have to respect their beliefs. And as long as they don't get violent, it's okay with me. If they want to be out there and they want to get sick, then, cause just because they're out there protesting doesn't mean they're gonna get sick. And I said, some people don't show the symptoms, so you never know who's really infected. Why? Because people get frustrated when they go take their tests. It takes like a week or so, however long it takes. So I better leave you guys with this note. Sorry. And it is to be patient, be still, and know that He is God. And know that one day, all this will pass. And soon we'll be going to beaches, we'll be eating and dining, and then later people are going to forget like this ever happened. I hope not. But if this ever happens again, just know not to act the same and learn from history so that we can become better humans, so that it doesn't happen exactly the way that it happened this time. Good night, my friends. I hope you guys like my channel, and I hope you guys hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Oh, and I'm going to show you guys a meme about the disinfecting, because so many people are just, I don't know, I think the president just said it out of despair, out of desperation. Yeah, it was dumb, but I think he just said it more out of desperation, trying to find some type of cure somehow. In my opinion, that's what I think. Because a lot of us don't really know what it would feel like to be president, and under that amount of pressure, knowing that your country is putting you, or because everybody in your country is acting a certain way, and it could be tough. Whether you like him or not, he is still your president.